Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And we are almost done with the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil franchise. And then we got one more, so we're almost there. So, here are my thoughts on Resident Evil Retribution. I, I don't know anymore, man. I don't. Starting off with my positives on Resident Evil Retribution, one of the things I do kind of like about this movie is I did like Alice's little outfit that she wore throughout the movie where it's like this umbrella outfit. I thought that was a really cool outfit. I thought it made her look badass and I just kind of dug it throughout the whole movie, which kind of tells you what kind of movie this is when I'm pointing out a single outfit. For she's kind of had badass outfits throughout this movie where she was kind of wearing a dress or maybe she had loose clothing or like the Mad Max like outfit in Extinction, and then in Afterlife where she just kind of wore regular clothes with two shotguns or whatever. Now in this one she has like this fully black outfit, kind of look like leather and stuff like that. You know, it's it's just a cool outfit. I don't know why, but when I was watching the movie, I'm like, oh, that outfit's kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie. So it's something I liked. Uh, throughout these movies, we slowly start to get more Resident Evil characters. Like, we slowly, like, throughout the whole franchise, like, with the second one, we got Jill and Nikolai and Carlos, and the third one, we got Claire, and then in Afterlife, we got, Chris, and now in this one, we get, Barry, Leon, Ada, and I think that's it. Maybe there's someone else, that I'm missing. I could be missing someone, but in this one, we get the introduction of Leon, Barry, and Ada, and for me, I thought it was really cool to see those characters in this movie, and probably some of the most well-known, probably the most well-known characters of this whole franchise. I've always liked Barry, especially if you play Resident Evil Revelations 2. I always really enjoyed his character in that game, so to see him in this movie was really cool for me, and if anything, out of the new characters that we get introduced to, like with the new ones that are brought into this movie, he's the only accurate one in this one because he's the only one that actually felt like his character because everyone else didn't. In this one, this is the only character felt like it because there's like literally a part where they're in this like big shootout and Bear's just like, "You go on ahead. I'm having fun killing these assholes" or something like that.
I'm kind of enjoying myself!
Like that, I'm like, okay, that's Barry. And then especially when he dies or whatever, he is like smoking a cigar or whatever. Like it felt like Barry. Like when I was watching, I'm like, okay, it felt like Barry. And even the guy that they casted him as, who's become like a pretty high and rising actor lately with Primus Caesar and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He was also in Abigail the same year. I forget his name, but he also played the fat dude in X-Men Origins or whatever. So he's always been a guy that I always really enjoy seeing. I can't remember his name. I don't know his name. I've only seen him in movies and I really enjoy him. So, for him to play Barry, I thought that was cool. And to see Leon Nada, they're some of my favorite characters of the series, so it's cool to see him in here. But unfortunately, they were not good. you know, Leon has his moments where he kind of felt like Leon, but he just felt dry and he just kind of just felt like he was just there. Like, it was cool to see him, but he just felt like he was there. The only thing that got right was his outfit and his hair. Other than that, he is completely lifeless. Ada's in here. She's just stale. Like, it's cool to see her, but she's like completely stale. And for someone that absolutely loves Resident Evil 4, the remake is one of my all-time favorite video games. It's up there with being my favorite Resident Evil game of all time. To see them fuck up the chemistry, the chemistry, God, I can't fucking speak. The chemistry with Ada and Leon, and the dynamic between those two, but the fact that they ruined that breaks my heart because it just wasn't there. It wasn't there, and that pissed me off. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It was cool to see the characters in here. They weren't adapted too well, but these movies have never really adapted the Resident Evil characters all that well anyway, so I guess it doesn't bother me anymore. I guess I'm just numb to the feeling, like a breakup. And I had an issue with this in the first Resident Evil movie where I said the CGI and the lickers look really bad. And throughout the whole movies, they start to get better looking because they show up here for a few minutes. And the lickers look great. I thought the CGI was vastly improved throughout this movie, throughout the franchise, and I think the liquors in this movie look a lot better, and it was just cool to see them because they looked creepy and they looked violent. Which when the fuck did liquors start laying eggs? Which I have no idea. That was literally taken out of Aliens. You can't convince me otherwise. But yeah, the CGI on the liquors, they looked great. They looked progressively a lot better from the first movie, so I really thought that was cool. They don't really show for long, but when they are on screen, they do look a lot better. But now moving on to my mixed aspects, and the one mixed aspect that I have about this movie is the whole opening. Well, I guess the other opening, I guess, because the opening of this movie is them basically saying, "Oh, fuck the last movie." But then the one that I'm talking about is you have Alice waking up as she is in like this whole different world. She's married to Carlos. She has a daughter and stuff like that, and it's in this alternate world where it's like a computer thing or whatever. I'll get into that later. Um, and that whole opening is directly copied from Zack Snyder's opening of the Dawn of the Dead remake. That it is literally almost shot for shot with the husband turning and nearly killing his wife, and then her daughter, and then Alice and her daughter running out the house, and the whole world just turning to shit basically. Cars are running over people, people are getting eaten, people are running away, just so much chaotic things are happening. And then with the car getting hit by another one, like it's literally right out of Zack Snyder's opening of Dawn of the Dead, which they have not been hiding that these movies take a lot of influence from those of the Dead movies. Either it was Zack Snyder's remake or George A. Romero's original movies. Now, on one hand, I think that's kind of cool that they're paying homage to Zack Snyder in his movie, because that is one of the best zombie movies ever made. However, there is a huge difference between paying homage and just directly taking a scene. They just took it. They just took the
They took our jobs!
scene. Like, yeah, is it cool to see them recreate a really cool opening? Yeah, but if I wanted to watch that opening, I would have gone and watched Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I would much rather be watching that than this movie. And now, moving on to my negatives. Oh boy. So, in this movie we get we get some returning characters. We get Jill. We literally get characters from the first movie with what's her name? I'm cheating. Leave me alone. Um Michelle Rodriguez's character. Yes, I just looked at the case of the movie. Leave me alone. We get the return of Michelle Rodriguez's character, like the little like SWAT team that we get in the first movie. They're back for a few scenes, and we also get like that black guy from Afterlife, that buff guy that advertises watches or something like that. And it sucked to see them come back because it is so dumb that they're back. It literally makes no sense. Michelle Rodriguez and that whole SWAT team characters, they're only back because they're in like an alternate world, or their computer, or they were made by the Red Queen or something stupid. I don't know. It made no sense throughout the whole fucking movie. And so when and is it cool to see Michelle Rodriguez come back? Sure. Is it cool to see the characters? Maybe. But if you used them better, it would have been cool. The only thing I liked was seeing Jill back, because it was accurate to Resident Evil 5 with the little red thing on her chest and her working for Wesker, which she doesn't really work for Wesker. She works for Umbrella now, which that's accurate to the game apparently. But that was the only thing, because it was somewhat accurate to the game. Everybody else, they don't need to be here. Trying to record and everyone's yelling. And this movie tries to do something unique by creating this underground world that's like computer generated by Umbrella or something. Like we get a version of China, we get a version of the underground lab again. We get all of these weird locations, and we get a regular world where Alice supposedly lived or whatever as like a normal human being or something like that. And I'm here to tell you that that is stupid. I don't know why they did that. I guess they were trying to like, oh, either the world's completely apocalyptic and turned to dust, or we're gonna have the world on ash and on fire. But they couldn't choose which one they want to do. So like, oh, I know what to do. We're gonna go underground and we're gonna be in this fake little world that we created, because why not? And let's throw a bunch of monsters at you, like lickers, the axe guys, zombies, Las Plagas. Let's just throw all that out there. There's no new monsters, which is weird because every Resident Evil movie introduces a new one, but this one doesn't. It just rinses and repeats. So if maybe it's interesting for sure, but it doesn't make any sense. Why is Alice down there? Why not just have her be up on the surface? I guess we do find out at the end of the movie that it's crowded with a bunch of monsters. So cool, but I never really understood the underground world thing. I've always thought it was dumb. I always thought it was ridiculous, and it just makes no sense to me. And why on earth, in an underground world that's fake, computer generated, basically, why the hell is there a bunch of characters that are like dead and that have been brought back to life because they've been cloned? That is stupid. I don't know why they're there. I guess because of the Red Queen. I guess she's the more powerful villain of the franchise. And going along with that, this whole underground world thing, throughout the whole movie, it just felt like a wave thing. When you play video games and you play like wave modes where you can buy guns, get upgrades, get money, and you just constantly shoot enemies, and the longer it goes on for, the bigger the enemies come. That's literally what this movie feels like. That's literally this entire movie from beginning to end. And I'm one of those people that I don't care about wave games. I don't play them, they don't interest me. I don't like them. I'm a story-driven person when I play video games, and I don't care about waves. I don't care about stuff like that. It's entertaining when I play them with friends, but playing them on my own, I don't care, and I don't get into it. So when you have your movie basically like that, going through sections of this whole movie of them underground and this world that we have basically already seen before it went to shit, like, I've seen all of these things, and then you're doing this whole wave thing. You got Lickers, you got Los Plagas, you got the big axe dudes coming after Alice, enemies we've literally seen in the other movies, and you don't try to attempt anything new by giving us new villains to up the stakes. You don't do anything like that. It just felt like a wave thing, and I didn't like that. I don't like wave games. Why would I like it in a movie? And these movies constantly do this. And once again, these movies are written by Paul W.S. Anderson. All six of these movies in this Resident Evil franchise, besides Welcome to Raccoon City, all six of these movies are written by the same person. And the issue that a lot of them have that he consistently does, he basically says, oh, we're going to forget the last one. We're going to forget everything that we did in it. Extinction, for example. Oh, it's completely apocalyptic. It's turned to dust. Oh, and Afterlife, it's completely gone. It doesn't exist anymore. That never happened. Okay, cool. Whatever. Let's have fun with this new setting or whatever. Let's do something. We'll have fun with the world that we're in right now. And then in this one, it basically says, oh, that happy ending where Alice, Chris, and Claire, they killed Wesker. They saved all the people that were trapped under there that were being biochemically frozen or whatever. Oh, we're gonna send a bunch of Umbrella soldiers and we're just gonna kill all those guys and basically have Chris and Claire go missing until they decide to show up in the next one.
The earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
And have Alice in the underground world, and now she's being monitored by Jill. Oh, by the way, and Wesker's helping her. Again, these are written by the same person. The same person has written all these. It's not done. It's not done by different people. Might be directed by some different people, but it's not written by anybody else. It's the same person. Paul W.S. Anderson has consistently done this in his movies, and it makes them unwatchable, confusing, and it does not make any fucking sense. Like, you literally take away the happy ending that we get in Afterlife. You set up like, oh, we're gonna get this cool action sequence where they're gonna go to war with Umbrella. Oh no, they literally played the whole situation in slow motion and backwards, showing them how they killed everybody. Remember when Alien 3 did something like that? Oh yeah, how did people respond? And this movie, yet again, it just felt like a filler. It's like Extinction. It just feels like it's there to make money and not give any progress. You can honestly take small little sections out of this movie, small little parts out of this movie, put it in the last movie, it would have no difference. This movie is here to make money and just introduce new characters. Other than that, doesn't need to be here. You can introduce the same characters in the final chapter. You can do the same things here and there. Take a few parts out that don't need to be in here. You can put them in the final chapter. This movie is just a filler. I couldn't really tell you anything that really happens in this movie. We have a little girl that Alice has in this movie. Like, it's basically from Aliens. This movie has a lot of common with the Alien franchise, apparently. So you have the little girl that is the other Alice's daughter, but then the main Alice comes in and like, oh, I'm your new mom, basically. You want to know something funny? That little girl isn't even in the final chapter. She's not even in it. So, Like, you could honestly skip this movie, go straight to the final chapter after watching Afterlife, and you would not miss a single thing. That is the problem with this movie, and it seems to be with every other Resident Evil movie. It goes extinction, oh, we're progress, and then we get a filler like this. Oh, and then we get the final one. That's how this franchise works. Written by the same person, by the way. And also, why the fuck is Wesker good in this movie? I don't understand that. So basically, at the beginning of this movie, Wesker has this weird little voice, this corny little voice or whatever. He has that corny side to him in this movie or whatever. He starts talking corny like he does, and he's basically, in the summary of it, he goes, Umbrella has betrayed me, so I want revenge on you, so me, Wesker, am I going to help you, Alice, and Ada get the hell out of here so we can take down Umbrella together. Yeah, fuck that, dude. That is not Wesker whatsoever. That is stupid. And by the way, Alice, hi, yeah, I'm Tanner. Um, didn't this guy try to kill you twice in the last movie? In the last movie, by my count, he tried to kill you twice. And oh, he's good now. He wants to help us. He wants to bring down Umbrella. Oh, he must be a good guy. I'm gonna listen to you and trust you. Yeah, dude, no. That is not how this works. If a guy tried to kill me twice, I'd be like, huh, no, I ain't listening to you. Why the hell is that a thing in this movie? That is not who Wesker is. If anything, Wesker's the one that portrays Umbrella. If you if you play the remake or the original Resident Evil, when Wesker's in that, and he's revealed to be the bad guy and kind of the mastermind behind all of it, he betrays Umbrella because he wants all the power to himself, basically. Hell, in Resident Evil 5, it shows him killing Spencer. You know, the guy that created Spencer Mansion. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why is he a good guy? I haven't seen Final Chapter in a while, but I don't know what he does in that movie, and I sure as hell hope that it's nothing that he does in this movie because it's stupid. Why is he a hero? Why is he a good guy? Why is this going on? It does not make any sense. Also, didn't he fucking die at the end of Afterlife? I don't even know, man. But overall, guys, I really don't care for Resident Evil Retribution. It's not one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It is one of the worst video game adaptations I have seen, though. I just don't care about this movie. I think it is a very bland Resident Evil adaptation. It's just a filler. It's a worse version of Extinction, if you ask me. It and it sets up a pretty shitty finale, if you ask me. So, honestly, if you are still with this franchise and if you don't really want to watch 6 of these movies, honestly, you could skip this movie and then go watch the final chapter because this movie does not really set you up for anything. Literally, the ending of this movie does not do shit either. So, you could skip this movie and you wouldn't miss anything. So, that's what I would recommend. So what do you guys think about Resident Evil Retribution? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Do you not like this movie? Do you actually think that this is a good Resident Evil movie? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.